Welcome back to CBS News 24/7. We're looking at documents that show President Trump made $1.4 billion from crypto ventures last year. That's even as other investors lost money when the value of Trump meme coins plunged. Democratic lawmakers say this is a sign of corruption. The White House insists there are no conflicts of interest.
I don't get involved in my personal. We have funds that run my money.
But you are benefiting.
Well, I've made a lot of money before I became president, and they invest my money, and I don't talk to them. I don't even speak to them. So I have many people. I don't know what they call it, closed accounts or something. You put your money in, and that's it. I don't talk to them. They're big institutions, and they run it. But yeah, I've had a great career in business. I've had a great career.
The White House released a statement saying President Trump only acts in the best interests of the American public. There are no conflicts of interest. Live to investigative financial reporter for Reuters, Tom Bergin. So, Tom, good to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. A lot of people are saying this could be a conflict of interest. How so? Explain that for us.
Well, there are so many possible conflicts of interest in this business. It's difficult to know where to start. I mean, firstly, the crypto businesses of the Trump family have relied upon partners, particularly World Liberty Financial has relied on partners who've had significant U.S. legal problems. And since Mr. Trump has reassumed the presidency, two of those partners have found their troubles ease a lot. Speaking particularly of Justin Sun and also the founder of Binance, CZ, who got a pardon. So that's basically people who have helped Trump's business, family business in crypto, make a lot of money, have benefited from a positive response from U.S. regulators and indeed a pardon. We also, of course, see other conflicts of interest. One simple one is really, it speaks to what crypto is. And crypto typically, it has no underlying value, the crypto tokens that the Trumps sell, the meme coin and also the World Liberty Financial token. So really the way you sell those tokens is by creating hype. Typically, promoters of such ventures will hire movie stars, actors, and to do that, President Trump, of course, has got the presidency, and his family, of course, are feted around the world because of that association. So consequently, a lot of this hype can be created because of the president's position. Not to mention that the president, of course, also has hosted events at his properties and attended, while president, to help promote particularly the meme coin. But of course, most of the conflicts of interest really come down to the area of regulation. And the truth is that this is a business that requires it has had a lot of regulatory problems in the past, regulatory gray areas, and indeed prosecutions, jail time for many people in this industry. With President Trump in the White House, he has been in a position that has allowed him to create an environment that allows his business, the businesses that he's got a very strong financial interest in, to make a lot of money. So the regulatory environment, creating that regulatory environment that facilitates the creation of this 1.4 billion is probably the biggest conflict of interest that exists.
Okay, so how do you compare the Biden-era crypto regulatory approach to President Trump's approach? How much has changed in the industry?
Well, to quote, to the president's own son, it's a very different environment. It's like night and day. So it's the perception of the industry, it's the position of the Trump family that there has been a total about-face in the treatment of the industry. So quite specifically, we've seen things where in the past, under the Biden administration, cryptocurrencies were treated as securities, and consequently they faced the same regulatory restrictions. So it was quite difficult to sell crypto tokens in the United States. And that's really why we saw the end of these enormous coin issuances that had existed in the sort of 2016 to 2018-19 period. That was actually the first Trump administration that cracked down on those coin offerings. And President Trump himself, of course, described Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as a scam. But Since the president has reassumed the presidency, the SEC has decided that most cryptocurrencies are not actually securities, and that consequently they don't need to face the same restrictions. So it's much easier for someone to go out and sell these kinds of tokens and coins. And of course, because they cost almost nothing to mint, it's all upside for whoever's selling them.
Well, we know that President Trump also brought in money from overseas developers. What's the impact there, and how did that happen and play out?
Indeed, it was another very buoyant year for the president with respect to receiving large sums of money from overseas developers to allow them to put his name on their buildings. And this is typically a Middle East play. That's where we've seen the really big growth this period. In the first Trump presidency, the family said they would not do overseas deals. In truth, by 2016, there wasn't a huge amount of demand overseas for such deals. That had fizzled out very much. So we didn't see any during the first Trump presidency. We didn't see much happening after Mr. Trump left at the end of his administration in the 2020 to sort of 23 period. But since 2024, particularly the second half of 2024, we've seen an enormous increase in these deals. And as I said, it's very much driven by Middle Eastern parties in Saudi Arabia, parties in Qatar, parties in Dubai. And these have very much added to the bottom line. It's about $50 million this year. That's up from $40 million the previous year. And of course, this was something that was really not a business a few years before that. So the payments from overseas developers has been a really strong area for the president in 2025.
All right, Tom Bergin breaking it all down for us. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Nice to have you here on CBS News 24/7.